school has already been in session for 3 weeks.
I know, right? Our junior year. Time flies.
Pretty soon, it will be our last show of the year.
Slow down there, Andrea. It's only the first show.
You're right, living in the moment. I'm so excited to be back at APN and anchoring with you.
Stop it, you're too nice. I'm even gladder to be back with you.
I'm the gladdest.
Whatever you say.
Wow, you're not gonna say you're the most gladdest of the gladders?
I'm sorry, it needed to end. I'm just really eager to get the show started for our lovely viewers.
Yeah, first show, best show. I'm Andrea Sheu.
And I'm Grace McCloskey.
Welcome to APN 23 to 24.
Show 1.
With the start of the new school year comes a wave of new rules. Some, including the color zone system, have left students with a cloud of uncertainty. Let's head to Mel for the inside scoop on these new campus mandates.
Many old rules have been left behind since coming back from COVID-19. To combat this problem, our staff has been working hard to reinforce old rules and implement new rules such as the color zone system. Most of your teachers have probably discussed the new color zone system and singular hall pass rules. Each classroom is provided with one colored bathroom hall pass, and students must stay within their designated color zones. The passes have been set up logically so that every classroom has the nearest bathroom. While students are still adjusting to these new rules in the first few weeks of school, some have spoken up about the new rules.
I understand the need for them, I guess. Like, people do walk around during the halls during school periods, but I think they're pretty stupid. I don't know. I get good grades, so I should be allowed to use a hall pass and walk around. I feel like that's almost the culture of high school,
To address these confusions and misconceptions about the new rules, we have Ms. DeBurke here to provide further explanation of their purpose.
Well, the reason that we've implemented this new plan of using the colored bathroom passes and colored zones is really a response to a lot of feedback we've gotten over the past few years from teachers, from office staff, from, to security, custodians, just about a really high number of students that are out walking around during class time. So the concern really comes from two things. One is preserving instructional time and keeping kids in class, but also safety concerns. When kids are out and about, more things are likely to happen, and we want kids to be safe and in class. And that limits students wandering around campus or being in areas where they don't need to be.
In addition to the colored hall passes, there are security guards stationed throughout the campus. If they find a student lingering in the wrong color zone, they will make note of the student's actions. With these rules in mind, let's try our best to respect them. This has been Amel. Now back to the anchors.
Speaking of the beginning of the year, homecoming season is here. If you want to get your tickets for the lowest price possible, purchase them at the ASB office by the end of today. They are still available for purchase for the next 2 weeks, but watch out for rising prices.
Well, with all the new students on campus and new teachers, we're excited to hear what our Apaches want to see from us this year with everyone's favorite segment. Here's Ask Apaches.
Interview people with the cool cars out in the parking lot, like the GR86s, BMWs.
Club feature on Spanish Honor Society.
Comedy skits.
I would love to see a full feature on the library.
The Taiwan and China controversy.
Full debate over controversial issues.
Softball. Would love any story that talks about the student experience here and what it's like to be a student at AHS.
Boys basketball.
I want you guys to cover the Gran Turismo movie that recently came out.
See a review on Oppenheimer.
On some Link Group promo.
See a review on Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Stories about volleyball, and the games.
I would love to see a feature on all of our new teachers so everyone can get to know them better.
We got you covered, Dr. Dillman. As the pages turn on a new chapter, a wave of fresh faces washes over the campus. Among them are our newest teachers. Let's get to know a little bit more about them.
So I've always enjoyed taking science classes when I was younger, and so I majored in bio when I went to college. And then I realized that I wanted to get my teaching credential in science.
So I've always loved history. It's my favorite subject. It always has been. And when I was growing up, people were like, oh, you love history. You want to be a history teacher then? I was like, no, I don't want to be a history teacher. And then when I was in college and undergrad, I spent a semester studying abroad in Spain. And I got to work with students, and I loved it.
I've always really liked biology and science as a whole. It was always one of my favorite classes growing up. And so naturally I studied it in school, and I felt like it was the right subject to teach.
I've been using mid sometimes.
I remember the first time I heard about Riz, and I was like, what is a Riz? And then the other thing that I remember hearing, I was like, what are they talking about? Would they say something's a W or something's an L?
Or like, I don't know, it was a W.
No slang this year so far. Not yet.
I am a huge music fan. I listen to a lot of K-pop and Broadway musicals. I'm kind of a little bit of a nerd. So I love going to K-pop concerts when I can. I went to K-Con this year. And I go to Pantages if I can see musicals. So if you haven't seen Six the Musical, it's a historical musical about the 6 wives of Henry VIII. You should check it out.
I really like hanging out with my friends and family. I recently picked up pickleball, which is horrible for someone who has never played with anything involving a racket or a paddle. Hang out with my cat all the time too.
So I like to travel, whether it's like local traveling or flying somewhere. I'm also running and training for a half marathon. I'm not very fast, but I've done one already, so this is kind of like my second one.
Link Crew is an organization here on campus aimed at helping freshmen transition into high school. Next Thursday, September 14th, head to Monrovia's Raising Cane's for their first fundraiser of the year. It is from 11 a.m. to 9 p.m. Be there or be square. I remember when I was a little freshman going to Link Crew meetings. We were in the same group, Grace.
I don't remember being in Link Crew with you, but I do remember being a freshman.
Yeah, it was a scary time. I felt like I didn't know anything.
Maybe the freshmen this year have evolved. We actually have a few of them in studio today to test that theory.
Let's head to Megan to see what these freshies really know.
Welcome to the Freshman Game Show brought to you by Apache News. I'm your host, Megan Wong, and today these 3 freshmen will be competing in a series of questions based on AHS. Here we have Ian Hawk representing Foothills, and Izzy Chen representing First Ave, and Alex Chiang representing Dana Middle School. Now here are the rules. I will ask a question about Arcadia High School, and whoever raises their hand first and answers correctly will receive a point. In the end, whoever answers the most questions correctly will receive a prize. Are you guys ready? Yeah! Okay, here's the first question. This is a place where you can go purchase homecoming tickets, elective fees, and so on. Where is the ASB office? Foothills.
Near the North Gym.
Correct! 1 point for Foothills Middle School. All right, moving on to the next question. This is a tricky one. In case of emergency, where do freshmen meet for emergency evacuations? Foothills?
The softball field?
Correct! Another point for Foothills Middle School. All right, next question. What time does third period always end? First half? 1? Unfortunately, that is incorrect. First half? Oh, sorry, Dana? That is correct! 1 point for Dana Middle School. Okay, moving on. This amazing woman represents AHS well. Who is the principal of AHS? Foothills?
Dr. Dillman?
That is correct! 1 point for Foothills! Amazing job, guys! Okay, next question. This is the place to go when you're feeling unwell. Where is the nurse's office? Dana? That is correct! 1 point for Dana Middle School. Okay, guys, last question. What is the best organization at AHS? First half. APN. That's correct! 1 point for First Avenue Middle School. All right, guys, amazing job. Now for the winner with a total of 3 points, Foothills Middle School wins! Congratulations! You win a top-of-the-line, beautiful, well-filmed, cinematic masterpiece of a DVD filmed by yours truly. And here's some APN pins for participating. Thank you for watching. Back to Grace and Andrea.
Congrats, Foothills.
Wow, they know way more than I did.
It's easy to know more than you did, Andrea.
Rude.
Don't worry, I was clueless as well.
Yeah, I thought the tennis court was where you played water polo.
Maybe I wasn't that clueless.
It's okay, because we have Sunny to tell you guys about our sports teams.
So you don't have to make the same mistake that Andrea did.
And Andrea, for our first lesson, let's study a force to be reckoned with, our girls volleyball team, as they make an impressive comeback. We head over to Aaron for an in-depth report.
Well, Sunny, after a dominating performance against the Pasadena Bulldogs on Tuesday, our girls volleyball team was faced against a pretty tough challenge. 2 straight home games against league and non-league opponents here at the North Gym. On Wednesday, the Apaches hosted Pasadena Polytechnics. The Panthers started off hot, taking the first set after a dominant performance, but the Apaches were able to clutch up and take a statement win with a set score of 3-2. Finally, on Thursday, the Glendale Nitros came to town. In an important league matchup, the Nitros were no match for the Apaches. The girls were able to make quick work with the defense, sweeping Glendale with a set score of 3-0, and boosting their season record to 8-1 with a league record of 4-0. Great performance by our girls this week. Their next home game is next Thursday against the league rival Burroughs, so make sure to come down, support them as they continue their season. This has been Aaron, covering volleyball. Now let's go back to Sunny in the studio.
Nice going, ladies. For our next lesson, let's look into another team that has a hot start to their season. We go to Ronan to learn more about our girls' tennis's performance this week.
Thanks, son. Now let me tell you, this past week has been great for our girls' tennis team, who had 2 very important league games. First up on Tuesday, the tennis team traveled to Burbank High School to face off against the Bulldogs. In a back-to-back game, the girls were able to win with a score of 11-7. Then on Thursday, Burroughs made the trip here to Arcadia. In a great showing by the girls, they crushed the Bears with a score of 17-1 and swept league play for the week. This comes as no surprise, as our girls' tennis team has been known to dominate on the court. Well, I'd say this has been a pretty great week for tennis. Now keep it up, ladies, and let's go back to Sonny McCall in the studio.
Thanks, Ronan. Before we send it back to our anchors, let's look at the notes of our other sports teams that have played this week. On Tuesday, girls golf finished their Pacific League tournament with a clear lead of 183 points, boosting their league record to 12-0. Also on Tuesday, boys water polo faced off against South Pasadena, and we were able to come away with a win with a score of 20-8. Finally, for tonight's homework, make sure to come by Salter Stadium and watch our Apache football team face off against Nordhoff High School. If you're not able to make it to tonight's game, make sure to watch the live stream here on Apache News starting at 6:45 p.m. Great work by our Apaches, coming away with the wins this week. Now that this section's over, handing it back to Grace and Andrea at the desk.
Wow, what a great way to start off APN this year.
Yeah, this show is jam-packed, just like my junior year.
Don't worry, we'll make the most of every day and live in the moment.
You're right, junior year, best year.
So excited to see how everything plays out, especially our APN shows.
Yay, APN! Make sure to follow us on all our socials down below. This has been Andrea, Sheu,
and Grace McCloskey. Tune in to our regular shows Fridays at 12:30. See you next week. Peace!